Timothy Bradley, Paulie, Floyd Mayweather, Devin Alexander, and whoever the fans want to see.
Listen, I told you give them something visual, so you went ahead and made your own YouTube-based TV show. It's an array of IPAs and fighters on the road. Got a question? Put them in your comment section right below. Barbershop talk while you're sitting in your living room. Pacquiao, Mayweather, and we can't forget the brews. Coming to you live with the scoops like a ladle. Allow me to introduce the boxing round table.
Rollo Jenkins, boxologist, Zone 6, Dre, BT Pound, 78 Fight News, Blood Boxing, Blood Fists, Boxing Beats and Rhymes, Female Boxing Fan, Carter J, Pull Counter, Joker Boxing, D Styles, the whole YTBC.
Break it down. Give me 5 people you're ready to fight right now.
Timothy Bradley, Paulie, Floyd Mayweather, Devin Alexander, and whoever the fans want to see.
Listen, I told you give them something visual, so you went ahead and made your own YouTube-based TV show. It's an array of IPAs and fighters on the road. Got a question? Put them in your comment section right below. Barbershop talk while you're sitting in your living room. Pacquiao, Mayweather, and we can't forget the brews. Coming to you live with the scoops like a ladle. Allow me to introduce the boxing round table.
Rollo Jenkins, boxologist, Zone 6, Dre, BT Pound, 78 Fight News, Blood Boxing, Blood Fists, Boxing Beats and Rhymes, Female Boxing Fan, Carter J, Pull Counter, Joker Boxing, D Styles, the whole YTBC.
All right, what's up, man? All right, y'all know what it is. We live in HD. It's going down. Y'all know how we do on the YouTube. You know, we talk all sports. It is what it is. And of course, today you are graced with my presence and get to see my handsome face. Of course, you know, I got time to kind of sit down for a few minutes. Still, you know, always busy. Of course, I told you guys what I had been doing and what I got going on. You know, of course, you know, doing some work and handling some business and things of that nature. You know, reading a book, of course. It's called None of the Above. It's talking about the Atlanta public school system scandal involving education and the system of gentrification and how they did it and how they, you know, moved black people out of the neighborhood so they could bring back, you know, the gentrification style of moving black people out, bringing white people in, making the city look a little bit more illustrious. Of course, as we always start off, it's always public service announcement and what I got going on and how everybody's doing. And we're going to talk football today. Don't come over here trying to weasel boxing into the conversation. We are all sports. We did boxing all yesterday. If you want to do boxing, go and check out that video from yesterday. Me, Big Phil Walker, Clark was on there, Zoe Money, you name it, they was on there. Blood Boxing came through at the end and cleaned everything up. But today is going to be NFL talk. Real quick, I gotta, I'm still always moving, of course. So I gotta take my fish oil, and you guys gonna get to see that on camera. I told you I always be busy. Stay ready, and you ain't got to get ready, and you should be good to go. So you gotta take my fish oil. It's good for your brain and all that kind of good shit. So you guys gonna see me, finish off my lunch. I just had a couple of steaks, nothing else, just steaks, an apple, 2 oranges and some blueberries and 2 steaks. You know what I'm saying? You got to stay healthy and stuff like that, man. Drink this water and shit like that. So, go ahead and drink this water with this fish oil. I see you, Sheldon Moore. I see y'all already in here. Sheldon Moore, Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback, not the best football player. That's an all right statement. I don't bite. If you are starting your team with one player, who are you taking over Mahomes? That's another good question. If I were to start a team right now, if I was an NFL owner, and let's say, obviously not Ray Lewis and all them guys, but based on the players that are out there, who would I draft first? Giving the understanding of what I have now, it definitely would be Patrick Mahomes. All right? I definitely would take Patrick Mahomes, me personally. Hold on. You guys get to see one of my rituals. Yeah, I drink this shit right here. Just clean out your arteries. Pour some of that in there. It is what it is. Apple cider vinegar. Before we get started, that's my boy John Dixon. Yeah, we be talking sports on here, Jermaine. That's my boy Big Dixon. That's one of my partners that I'll be telling y'all about when y'all think people sometimes on YouTube make stuff up. But we always talk sports. We always talk fantasy. Again, yesterday was boxing. Today is football. Y'all know how I do. Your boy Zone always come through. The panel is completely open. The link is in the description box. This is the opportunity for you to go ahead and roll your blunt up, finish drinking your water and doing your thing. You guys just so happen to catch me at the back end of lunch. You know what I'm saying? You kind of may be like, what the hell is this nigga doing? Gotta have that. And of course, we're gonna go ahead and finish off with my apple cider vinegar. All right, let's get down to business. First thing first, let's look at what's going on in the NFL and how it's shaping out. And we're also going to touch on that fantasy football. As promised, so far with the fantasy football, let me talk about this. Money Brown, you guys know Money Brown. Money Brown's in the league. Big Hill's been on the show. He's in the league. My boy Jay Dixon. You know what I'm saying? Ja Dixon, Jermaine Dixon, he's in here. One of my partners did, one of my mentors, actually. Let me pay him proper respect. The real mentor, a young Navy guy, he was in there and he was doing his thing. So in the fantasy football, of course, so far I'm in 5 leagues, man. I'm the commissioner of 1. And I have a record of This is across all 5 leagues. We're talking NFL, we're talking football. That also encompass the fantasy element too. And we open up the panel as usual, and we're gonna talk this NFL talk so far through the weeks. Maybe Big Phil Walker will come up. I sent it out, so everybody should come in and they're welcome to talk. But first off, in my leagues, I am 4-1 in one league. I am 3-2 in one league, and I'm currently 1-4 in 3 of the leagues. So in the 3 of the 5 leagues, I'm 1-3, 3-2, and I'm 4-1. You know what I'm saying? It happens. I got Deshaun Watson in a couple of leagues, and it's not working out for me so far with Deshaun Watson. But however, in the other leagues, I do got Justin Herbert, which is a big difference. Now, last time we talked on here, we gave our predictions on the playoffs and all that kind of stuff. So we're going to kick it off. Shelton Moore, this your first time on here talking about this football, man. What you got to say, man? What your thoughts is on the football season so far?
Well, first of all, good morning, brother. It's morning over here on the West Coast. But, I mean, the season's interesting. You know what I'm saying? A lot of you can't really get a gauge on what's happening. It's still too early, but you can clearly see that Frisco and the Eagles are probably the 2 best teams. It's hard to find a hole in San Francisco's game. I mean, you know, they got Pro Bowlers on every level of the defense. They got Pro Bowlers on every level of the offense. I mean, goddamn. It's hard, man. They're pretty good. I mean, you know, because the knock was, well, they ain't played nobody if they played Dallas. Well, you see what they did to them. They destroyed them. They beat the shit out of that. So they probably, them and Philly are probably the 2 best teams. I don't know what Cincinnati is yet. We'll find out because Joe Burrow just got healthy. Kansas City's Kansas City. You know what they are. It's an interesting season, man. I'm just hoping my guys got a win on Monday. I'm hoping we get some momentum. We can roll a couple wins off. You know, maybe make it to the playoffs. That's all I'm hoping.
Who's your team, if you got one?
The Oakland Raiders, bro.
Okay, Raiders. Y'all got some key players over there. Obviously, y'all got Devontae Adams, one of the best receivers in the league, and y'all had Waller, and y'all had Carr, and y'all got Josh Jacobs. So y'all got some stuff over there.
Hey, don't forget about Crosby. Crosby's a dog.
And definitely not forgetting about Crosby. So you guys got some talent and have had talent over the last 10 years, and Gruden kind of set y'all back with the situation that he had with the racism and, you know, uncovered emails. I think when something like that happened to a franchise, man, I think it set them back a couple of years, regardless of what anybody say. Because if you consider the fact that the stuff that y'all had with John Gruden, assuming that John Gruden was John Gruden without the bullshit extra, and y'all had acquired Devontae Adams and still had Carr, I think John Gruden would have changed it around, because one thing about John Gruden understands his quarterbacks. And I like that about John Gruden. John Gruden understands that building a defense and a run game to possess the rock and slow things down is very, very important. You know, play sound defense, play field position, slow this thing down, and don't let this thing get blown off the top, especially over there in the AFC West when you got teams like, obviously you're going to see Kansas City twice a year, you know what I'm saying? And then you're going to see, you know, Denver's not that good, but at one point they was absolutely solid. You see what I'm saying? And then you got the Chargers with their explosive offense in Mike Williams, and you got Keenan Allen, and you got Justin Herbert, obviously, just to name a few. So we know the Chargers are very, very explosive. It's been like that for years, since LT time. So I see what he was doing there, but once he got caught up and jammed up, man, they just kind of blew up Las Vegas or Oakland, whatever the case may be. He kind of blew y'all up, man, and that's unfortunate.
Yeah, well, Gruden is old school in the fact that Gruden builds his team to be the best team in his division. That's how he builds a team. As you can see what he was doing before he got caught up, like you say, he was building that team to beat Kansas City. That was his only focus. Because the first thing any successful organization has to do, you got to win your division. You got to win your division. Fuck all that other shit people talk about, get to the playoffs. And nah, you got to win your division. If you can win your division, then all the rest of that shit will follow. But you have to win the division first. And when you got Kansas City in your division, it's only obvious you build your team to beat them.
I agree with that, and we on the same page with that. So man, your team's solid, man. I know. Speaking on field, if he jump in here too, he loves the Oakland Raiders or the Las Vegas Raiders. He said his pop was a Raiders fan, so he got a soft spot in his heart for them as well too. I'm not a fan of anybody. I don't like the Falcons. I don't like the Patriots. I like players. I grew up, 5 years old, 6 years old. My grandfather was into football. My uncle was into football. That paired with the sport of boxing. So I've always just loved the sport of football in itself. I never had a chance to really just adapt to a team. I came up on when you was collecting, the Fleer trading cards. I came up on Ricky Waters, Roger Craig, stuff like that, the Warwick Dunns, the LTs, the Curtis Martins. I came up in a different space. I came into the space where before the two expansion teams was out, before the Panthers and the Jaguars came into the existence, right? And the remixed Cleveland Browns that end up kind of becoming the Baltimore Ravens type thing. So I go back right there in that late 80s to early 90s. So it's a different type of league now. And as you notice, like you said, John Gruden was building his team around beating the team in his division that is the best, which is Kansas City, which is a running gun, RPO, run pass options. They gunning it out. But he was finna slow things down. And I think that is missing in the NFL, and that's why you see a lot of injuries, in my opinion.
Yeah, see, I'm a little older than you. I'm a couple years ahead of you. So I started liking the Raiders. I started rolling with the Raiders in 72 because I was always a fan of, 3 yards in the cloud of dust. They had Marv Hubbard. They had Mark Van Egan. You know what I'm saying? And they had Kenny King, and they brought Marcus Allen to the game. You know what I'm talking about? So I always loved running backs. And the Raiders always had decent, nice running backs. And they love speed. And the defense was always nasty. I love defense. I played defense in high school and in college, so I love defense. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I've always – I'm not the type of fan. I'm not like these guys who go with the win. Oh, my guy's over here, or my guy's over here, or these guys win the Super Bowl and I'm there. No. I've been rolling with the Raiders since 1972. Win, lose, or draw, I'm a Raider fan. I love football. First of all, I'm a football fan.
Absolutely.
I'm a football fan, first of all. But as far as the team, Raiders are my guy.
What you think is looking like? See, so quick predictions, because me and Phil did this preseason. We did this in one of the previous videos, and I like to get everybody's take on this. Before the season started, or even now, you can give me your position on this. Who do you got early predictions going to the Super Bowl, in your opinion?
Right now, the way I see it, it's going to be a repeat. If it keeps going the way it's going, I think it'll be a repeat of 2 years ago. If Purdy stays healthy and the Niners stay healthy, I see the 49ers and the Kansas City Chiefs. Because I don't see anybody yet in the AFC that this guy, Mahomes, he's the best quarterback. He's got the most weapons, and he's got an innovative coach. And I don't see anybody in the AFC matching up to that. You know what I'm saying? The plays that sometimes Reed calls, and the way that Mahomes and Kelsey and those guys execute the plays that we call. That's the difference. The execution is on point.
I agree.
So if you had to ask me right now, I would pick the Chiefs and the 49ers because I think the Eagles are kind of one-dimensional. If Jalen Hurts ain't having a good game, they go as far as Jalen Hurts can take.
Yeah. That's by and large everybody with their star player, but theirs feels extremely contingent on Hurts. Like it really does. That's obvious with anybody, but theirs just feel like more so than anything because Hurts kind of have some off games to a degree. And I said the same thing at the beginning of the year. So me and you were in alignment with that. I said 49ers and I had KC. I had KC coming out the AFC and then 49ers coming out the NFC. Divisions, okay? Who do you got coming out of your prospective division? NFC South, NFC East, West, and all that. Who would you predict or say would be coming out of each one of those divisions with a card?
Okay, well, let's start with the NFC South.
Okay.
Honestly, I see New Orleans coming out of there. because they got the most solid quarterback in their defense.
Okay.
Carolina's okay. Atlanta's okay. And we don't really know what Tampa Bay is. They 3-1, but they ain't really played nobody. So we don't know what they are yet. At the NFC West, I'm trying to give Seattle the benefit of a doubt as the challenger to San Francisco, but I just don't see it. I mean, they got some young guys. They got some decent guys. I like Geno Smith, but San Francisco, like I said earlier, it's kind of hard to find a hole in their game.
Absolutely.
They pretty good. As long injuries are the only thing that's going to slow them down, in my opinion. The NFC East. Way it's looking like it might be the Eagles again.
Yeah.
Might be the Eagles again. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the Cowboys, Dak looks like he falls under pressure, bro. Starting to look like he falls under pressure. He doesn't like pressure. He likes everything to be going smooth. You know, defense give him a lead, and he can just sit back and dink and dunk. And when Dak has anything under 230 yards, they win.
Exactly.
When Dak has to throw the ball more than 30 times a game, they lose. That's what I see.
So you said in the Cowboys situation, as you keep coming through, Cowboys need to kind of lean more toward the run game and the defense then.
Yes. They need to beef up that offensive line. You know, Zach Martin's getting old. Tyron Smith been old for a long time. You know what I'm saying? So they need to beef up that offensive line, get Pollard the ball, maybe get another back behind him, maybe give Deuce Vaughn a shot. That other kid, Dowdell, give him a shot. You know what I'm saying? Run the ball, play good defense, and you'll have a shot. But if you're trying to throw the ball 30 times a game, I don't care if you do got CeeDee Lamb. I like your tight ends. Gallup is Gallup. You know, he's always been so. You ain't going to win that way because you don't have a quarterback to do it. Your quarterback can't win it for you. Dak Prescott is more the lines of back in the old days. We had a guy named Phil Simms.
Yeah.
Dak probably's not going to fuck it up, but he ain't going to win it for you. You know what I'm saying? That's what Dak is. You know, so you got to accept that and build your team around that. Now, the NFC North, that's where we come into some good football. I think Detroit is the real deal. I don't care what anybody says. I think if you sleep on Detroit, you're stupid. And they probably going to come into your house and kick your ass. Detroit's pretty good. Minnesota, no defense.
Richardson coming off that end, boy, he acting a fool. Their safeties is solid too. Joseph, they solid.
Yeah,
Detroit.
they solid. Then you got Minnesota, no defense. Chicago, all they got is Justin Fields. And Green Bay, you saw them Monday night. They play good, but you know when it gets to crunch time, they're not experienced enough to seal the deal.
Absolutely. Okay, all right. So we're getting you on record. Okay, what you got? Moving over to this AFC. And well, before we go to the AFC, so you see it as New Orleans, you got Detroit, you got you got the 49ers. And who are the other teams? Who you got in the wild card spots?
In the wild card spots, I have Seattle.
Okay.
And I have Dallas.
Okay. And then you got one more.
One more team in the wild card. Seattle, Dallas, and maybe let me see. Seattle, Dallas, maybe Tampa Bay. Maybe Tampa. If Baker Mayfield can keep doing what he's doing, they got a solid defense. Tampa.
Yeah, he looks serviceable. I got the 49ers actually capturing the bye. I think that's the bye team. I don't think he's gonna be fit. I think it would be between those two. I'll be surprised if it's not between those two on who gets the bye, the first round bye. But I'm going with 49ers having the first round bye. And I believe the Eagles make it and come out of that division, but I believe the Eagles going to fall on their own sword. I don't think the Eagles make it back to the Super Bowl this year. I just don't think they make it to the Super Bowl. There's too many laps, you know what I'm saying, sometimes. And then when you get to the playoffs, you're talking about the best teams in that year coming peaking at the right time. And it's just going to be an issue, and it could be a problem, man, because you're not talking about, well, we get to play an 0-4 team in the playoffs. No. You're playing the teams that have won a division, that have grinded. They got probably some studs on there. They probably got the Russian titleists out the NFC or the whole NFL. They probably got a dope receiver. They probably got some big-name players that's going to be in your grill all night in the playoff game. And then in the playoffs in football is one and done. That's it. Ain't no 7-game series, 3-game series, none of that. It's one and done. And that don't mean that the Eagles will be bad to me. It's just that I think they have a probability and a tendency to kind of just drop a game. It's not a reflection on them. It's just they drop a game at the wrong time. I see them doing that in the playoffs.
Yeah, I agree, Joe. They lose focus. They lose focus. Like Sunday, if we watch the game Sunday, the Rams should have won that game. The Rams gave the game away.
Exactly.
They was only half in the first half. Second half, they couldn't do nothing. I got a phone call. I'll call you back.
What'd you say? Okay, and he probably got jumped back in. But anyway, so I kind of agree with him. I don't believe in Seattle, though. Seattle is terrible. Not even close. I just don't think they make the playoffs. I got the 49ers. It's the only team I see coming out of that division, which is the NFC West, like I had stated already. Check the previous video out so you could get my pre-season selection. Me, Phil Walker, and my boy Dwayne, we all kind of went over this before Rollo had jumped on. So, yeah, not to repeat the same long, repetitive stuff, go ahead and check that video out. It's in the live section to see our picks for the season. Again, though, I definitely got Kansas City, and I definitely got the 49ers going at it with each other in the Super Bowl. I'd be surprised if them two don't make it. In addition to that, man, who y'all got as the best running back in the league so far? Maybe top 3, top 5. Who y'all got the best as the best quarterback in the league? I mean, obviously most people gonna say Patrick Mahomes, but sometimes people say Josh Allen. Some people say Herbert might be on his ass. Some people may say something else outside of Patrick Mahomes. In my opinion. Also, man, it was unfortunate. The last time I had did these videos, we was under the impression that the Jets were going to be fully loaded with a Dalvin Cook, who has been good, and a Aaron Rodgers, who's a multi-time season league MVP. But unfortunately, Aaron Rodgers, suffered a injury. I mean, like damn near the first drive of the game, he suffered an injury Achilles. He's out for the season. He's just getting old, man. And they say he may come back next year, but it's going to be a long hill to climb, and I think the Jets are screwed, and I think it's unfortunate. Dalvin Cook has not been good this year. They're leaning toward their younger guys like the Breece Halls, and they just got to try to play some good defense and rely on some special team plays and some turnovers, man. Control that rock, possess that rock, because the Jets are sinking down real fast, and it's not looking good for them. One of the things I like to do, too, on this, when I get a chance, is I also like to predict who I think going to win with the matchups. So we got Thursday night, which is obviously tomorrow, October the 12th. Man, we got Denver at Kansas City. I got Kansas City pulling out the win. Then we have Baltimore at Tennessee. You guys can type your pick in or jump on and tell me who you got. I got Baltimore beating Tennessee at home. I got Atlanta beating Washington in Atlanta. I got Minnesota going on the road beating Chicago. I got the Bengals in a bounce back situation to beat the Seahawks. I got San Fran over Cleveland because Watson is a bad rotator cuff on his throwing arm, and that's not good. I got Miami beating Carolina. I got Jacksonville beating Indiana. I got New Orleans beating Houston in Houston. I got New England and Las Vegas. I got New England for a bounce back to beat Las Vegas. and I got the Rams. I got Rams over the Cardinals, and then I got Eagles over the Jets. That's gonna be a blowout. And I got Detroit at Tampa Bay. That's gonna be a good one right there. That's gonna be a good one. Let me slide back to that one. New York at Buffalo. I got Buffalo, and then for the Monday night, I got the Chargers over Dallas. Keep in mind though, Justin Herbert has a hurt finger. It's just on his non-throwing hand though, but he should be good. He's been kind of tagged as questionable because of the injury to his non-throwing hand, unlike Deshaun Watson, who has a injury to his shoulder for his throwing arm. And then that's not good for Cleveland. Cleveland is called a bad break, man. Same thing with them. Nick Chubb injury was just gruesome. If you was watching the game, man, he kind of just tore his knee up. It was so gruesome they didn't even show it. But, you know, it's on the internet. His knee pretty much buckled in damn near in half. And he's out for the season, so they lost their stud running back. And it looked like they're going to lose their stud quarterback. I mean, and Deshaun Watson is in this situation where he got to turn the corner or he's going to, you know, be sent to the goulash. He's going to be kind of, you know, in a situation where he's just not serviceable anymore. He in Dak. And that brings me to a good conversation. Me and Phil, we got this conversation on who do we feel is better between Dak and Deshaun Watson. And I got Deshaun Watson being a better quarterback than Dak. And as we see, it's a close race because both of them are absolutely terrible and stinking out the joint. But at least Dak has been consistently healthy this year. Unfortunately for Watson, you know, he's had, obviously he has an injury. So it is what it is. Detroit and Tampa Bay. If Mike Evans is healthy, if Mike Evans is healthy, I got Tampa Bay in Tampa Bay. I got Tampa Bay over Detroit. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. Dixon, you say Jacks will lose, bro. Stop disrespecting. Indy ain't bad, man. It just got your boy, your quarterback, man. He keep on running the ball extra hard, trying to play Michael Vick, and he getting crunched on. I mean, he keep going in the concussion protocol. He gonna be out of here. If he don't quit playing, he gonna end up like Tua, man, twisting his fingers up because these guys hit hard. These guys are no joke. These are brain injuries. These are head-on collisions. So, you know, unfortunately for Indiana, and I know you've been a long time Indiana fan since, you know, I can remember 2005 for sure. You know what I'm saying? And probably even before that. So I know, Dixon, I know you do like Indy, and I know you was living in the glory days when Peyton Manning was there. I remember having those conversations in the berthing and, you know, on deployments and stuff like that. So, yeah, shout out to Indiana. It's just that this is not the Peyton Manning era. Y'all don't have Adrian James, Marvin Harrison anymore. Y'all don't have that kind of team no more. Indy is in a rebuild. I mean, you got Jonathan Taylor. Some people consider him to be one of the top running backs in the league, but I kind of think Jonathan Taylor is one of them guys that's overrated. Just like a Dalvin Cook. I just think that he's also overrated, and then it's showing. I like running backs kind of more so along the lines of like a Josh Jacobs, Derrick Henry. Not necessarily they got to be a bruiser, but if you're going to be a scat back, you're going to be a scat back like Christian McCaffrey. Most people probably will argue that Christian McCaffrey is the best running back in the league, but Jonathan Taylor is one of those good players that is serviceable for Indiana. You know what I'm saying? So that's just my take. So I'm in alignment with Shelton Moore on most of his picks in the NFC outside of the Seattle situation. I just don't see Seattle making it. I just don't see them serviceable. So Shelton Moore, you back. What you got at the AFC?
Well, in the West, Kansas City, the best team in the AFC West. In the South, that's a tough division, man. You know what? It's looking to me right now. It's looking like Jacksonville. Maybe Jacksonville might pull it out of the South. I got a good team. They got some young players in there.
Yeah.
In the North, you just don't know, man. You just don't know about the North. I think maybe Cincinnati, if they can get it rolling. they can get it rolling. I'll say Cincinnati. They're probably the best team down there. Baltimore's iffy. Pittsburgh is iffy. Pittsburgh's quarterback situation is iffy. I don't really know what that dude is.
It's terrible.
Yeah, I don't really know what that guy is. And
who else not working out for Pittsburgh?
Huh?
You know who else not?
I can hear you, bro.
You know who else is not working? You know who else is not working out for Pittsburgh?
For Pittsburgh? Who's that?
Yeah, Najee P. Harris. Najee P. Harris is terrible.
Oh, Najee Harris? Yeah, he's not. He don't have that. See, people don't understand this about the run game, right? This is what people don't understand. It don't really matter how you are. If ain't nobody blocking for you, it's not gonna end well. You know what I'm saying? Why do you think New England had the run that they had? They had the run that they had because they kept that quarterback and they kept an offensive line around that quarterback. That's why. You have, Emmitt Smith, the reason he gained all them yards because he had an offensive line that was bigger and faster than everybody else. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That's why. Simple. You know what I'm saying? You put Emmitt Smith on the Atlanta Falcons, he's not the all-time leading rusher. He's not the all-time leading rusher.
He not. Not at this time.
It's just fact. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so who you got? You got Cincinnati. If they can keep it rolling, Pittsburgh is in the dump.
Yeah,
they try.
Cincinnati in the north. I got Kansas City in the west. In the south, I got Jacksonville. In the AFC East, it's really a crapshoot, man. I'm not sold. I like them. They got a lot of speed. I'm not sold on Miami. Somebody gonna have to beat Buffalo. Have to beat them.
Yeah. I said the same thing, man. I'm not sold on Miami, man. I know a couple of my partners, man, they really high on Miami and stuff like that, but I'm not sold on Miami, man. I still think Buffalo is the team to beat. I'm with you on that. I got Buffalo. I got Kansas City. I actually had Cleveland this year coming out of the AFC North until they just
Chubb got hurt.
Yeah,
until Chubb got hurt.
Yeah, it's over. It's downhill from there. I did have the Ravens coming out of there. I also like Tennessee. That opens up a spot now because Cleveland is just not. I don't think they're going to make it now, and it's going to be interesting to see. Vegas got a shot, man. Like it's a lot of teams that got a shot with these injuries taking place, and then the Jets was on the table for me too. I had the Jets coming out, but that's not going to be happening.
Now, for as far as wild card teams, I got Baltimore number 5.
Okay.
And the number 6 wild card team I got is actually the goddamn Steelers. To be honest, I got 3 teams coming out of the AFC North.
Okay, and you got one more. It's 7 now, and then tell me who you got.
Number 7 or 17 now. You know what? I think in a 17, I think it's gonna be a toss up between the LA Chargers and the Vegas Raiders.
Yeah, that's what I say. I kind of agree with that. Just staying Miami good 4-1. Buffalo 3-2. So Miami got the division. And believe it or not, man, the Jets is terrible as their situation is. They're only 2-3. I mean, they're not like New England. New England was 1-4, but the Jets 2-3. So they're not that far off. Yeah,
it's just Zach Wilson for me, bro. It's Zach Wilson for me. He'll be playing good for 2.5 quarters, 3 quarters. He's like that. He do dumb shit at the worst time.
Exactly. I agree with you on that. And Kansas City got a commanding lead over AFC West. They 4-1. The Chargers are 2-2. Vegas is 2-3. 1-4. They're not gonna make it. Houston, believe it or not, their AFC South is pretty close. Jaguars is 3-2. Indy is 3-2. So Dixon, shout out to Indy. Indy actually 3-2. Even though their quarterback keep trying to play like he want to get himself hurt.
He is hurt. You didn't hear? He's on IR.
Concussion and shit. He keep getting them.
Yeah, he's on IR. He won't be playing for the next 4 or 5 weeks.
See what I'm saying? So in San Francisco and Philly, the 2 undefeated teams. Carolina is the only team without a win in the NFL so far. So we know they ain't finna do anything. Atlanta and Tampa Bay. And New Orleans.
Hey, so right quick, what's that saying they have? Welcome to the NFL. Bryce Young is getting welcome to the NFL.
Yeah, Bryce Young is terrible. He needs some more work. He one of them guys that need to have set. Like he's the definition of a guy that need to sit behind a person. And I'm gonna say this another thing, man. I don't understand these young rookies, man. It's sometimes you could come out too quick. I don't understand why we're coming out of college quick now when you're getting the NIL checks now.
Yeah.
Why, if you're the man at your university and you're a junior, sophomore, and you could play one more year, get that experience, bro. Because the NFL ain't going nowhere, and it's different as these guys are finding out. If you're getting 1.2, 1.3 million, like Deion Sanders players on their teams, man, you should be all right. You shouldn't be really having too many issues to rush to come out.
Here's what killed me about Young, bro. You didn't even win the Heisman last year. They said the guy at USC was better than you.
Exactly.
So why would you come out after your junior year when another guy they say is better than you? And now this guy's still in college, and they still saying this guy is better.
I'm gonna say this, man.
But he got the number one pick. Now, Zone, he did go number one, so you can't take that from him. He did go number one.
Oh yeah, definitely. He and Carolina need a quarterback, so that does make sense. I mean, why would you not if you're Carolina? What else? You got rid of Christian McCaffrey. You're really pretty much in a rebuild. Let's be honest. Carolina is just not going to be good for a minute.
Right. Exactly. I agree.
Just like Atlanta.
So they're gonna have to build down. Who's the coach down there? Is that Frank Wright?
I don't know who the coach is in Carolina.
Frank Wright from the Baltimore Bills. Remember him? Buffalo Bills, Frank Wright.
Okay, yeah.
He's the coach. Yeah, so he's gonna have to build his team around. They got to get an offensive line because that little guy, man, the way he get hit this year, he might be dead.
Yeah, he stayed in the situation, man. He just ain't go. And then you got to see Tampa Bay defense twice. Atlanta got a defense. New Orleans got a defense. It just ain't gonna work out for him coming out of just the South in itself. So he's just not ready, man. He got to put in that time. He don't have like Christian McCaffrey is not there for you to just kind of like wrap it up. You don't have anybody. You got Herbert down there. Herbert. Fuck, he going. You see what I'm saying? He's solid.
Herbert. You say one of them. I got one of them motherfuckers down there.
Right, he got Herbert. You know what I'm saying? He ain't gonna do too much in that. So you don't have any no weapons around him for starters. And it's funny because Atlanta's in a reverse situation. They have Ritter, but he can't get it to the weapons. He can't get it to Pitts. He can't get it to London. The two running backs, you just pretty much ate in the box because Ritter cannot throw. So that renders Bijan Robinson in Algier just worthless pretty much. I mean,
but you know something, Zone, and I know you know this. Some dudes are just winning, right? You know that, right? Some dudes are just winning. Do you know that since motherfucking high school, that dude is something like 26-0 at home in games that he started?
Which one?
Desmond Ritter. He has not lost a home game that he started since high school.
Ah, man, that's okay. Okay, some people have a streak going, so Atlanta gonna be looking good. That's why I say when they in Atlanta, we need that too because Atlanta be needing to pick up some of them home wins, and then we just work on the road later. But we need some of those home wins. That's where it starts at. That's how you build your fan base as well. You gotta be able to make people feel cool on Sundays that they team going at least at the house. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Let's go back in the day, bro. You remember that Ravens team, right? That 2000 Ravens team. You remember that team, right?
What'd you say?
You remember that team, that 2000 Ravens team?
The phone was far away. You moving? What'd you say?
Yeah. That 2000 Ravens team. You remember that team, right?
Yeah.
Look, Trent Dilfer wasn't a world beater. But he knew what to do not to fuck it up.
Yeah, but you see, you also had, but you had that powerhouse running back from Atlanta in the back getting.
Yeah, Jamal Lewis.
Ty Heat was a good dump off tight end as well too. Before the tight end was just this thing that everybody wants to use. So the Ravens had some sound pieces. In addition to that, they got a lot of.
Yeah, they had a versatile defense. They had Brett Tyler and Shelby Sharp. They had Jamal Lewis over 2,000 yards. They had a lot.
Exactly.
But Chris Denver just didn't get in the way. That's what I'm saying. And that's all Desmond Ritter got to do. If Desmond Ritter can get Atlanta 17 points a game, if he can do that, y'all got action at some shit. Because your defense is solid. And you got a decent coach down there. So you got action.
Yeah, we got action. We got good running game. We got good two receiving threats. And we got good defense. We got Jesse Bates back there leading the charge. He's definitely the defense is. Did you say the defense is straight? Just that Ritter has to take advantage of the defense when they capitalize. They got to take advantage of the weapons that he got. I know they try to establish the run, but they playing up and they looking for Bijan Robinson to run the ball because you drafted him for a reason, and this kid is explosive. You could clearly see that. Algier is completely explosive. So you got a two-headed monster. So you got to get those guys' attention as opposed to Drake London. Drake London haven't done anything. It's not like it's Julio Jones or whatever, or we got Kevin Ridley over there anymore. So threat is not there because Ritter hasn't established anything with Pitts. Pitts hasn't had that standout breakout year with Mariota when he broke that record.
Right.
He got 1,000 yards. But
he got to take what the defense gives him. Like you said, he got to run the ball, have him putting 8-9 in the box, and then hit him over the top.
Exactly. But see, they're not people. People would rather you beat them. Ritter, they'd rather you make him beat Ritter. Make Ritter use his arm as opposed to the run game. I take that all day because Ritter cannot throw. When you look at his passes, man, they be short. They be like you got a quarter. And I seen him. The pass is like quarter. It's like a 10-yard, 8-yard pass. Man, Cordell Patterson has to jump all the way up. You shouldn't be having to. If my quarterback's 8 yards from me, I shouldn't really have to do nothing but this right here.
Right.
My catch radius should be all right in here. I shouldn't be doing this right here. I shouldn't be doing all the way down on the ground. I shouldn't have to do all that, man. That's not an accurate quarterback. That's terrible, actually.
But they know. They knew that. They knew that when they drafted the kid. Because you watch the kid at Cincinnati, all he did was run pass option and short Jenkins up passes. That's all he could do.
Yep. And so let me get your prediction on this week, man, while we're here. What you got on this week? Let me call these matchups for you and see what you got. So tomorrow, of course, Thursday night, we get it started. That's what we do. I'm going to try to do the Wednesday thing before Thursday. So we see.
Right.
Who you got? Denver.
Tomorrow night?
Denver and
Kansas City. I don't care if Kansas City play Denver on the moon. It don't matter what they play.
Yeah. Free space, right? Bingo. So Baltimore at Tennessee.
I got to go with Baltimore because as long as Tennessee keep dealing with Ryan Tannehill, it's going to be bad. So
check this out, though. And I know Dwayne loving this. This is a game in London.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So in London, early in the morning. Yeah. I still got Baltimore. I think Lamar Jackson got a bad taste in his mouth from Sunday. But you know Lamar Jackson fucked that game up. Right?
Yeah.
He fucked that game.
Yeah. Okay, so you got Washington at Atlanta.
At Atlanta, I got Atlanta. But Washington ain't got no defense. That's their problem. They ain't got no secondary. Their secondary trash.
Except Carl Straight, but he stay injured. Minnesota at Chicago.
Actually, Chicago, because you know Justin Jefferson's on IR, right? He's out for like 5 weeks.
Yeah. He hurt. I got Minnesota still putting it out. I think they find a way. Chicago is terrible.
They got it. But at home, they might have a little juice, especially coming off that win, you know?
Yeah. Okay. Seahawks at Cincinnati.
Joe Burrow looked kind of good. He looked decent last week, just like he's rounded in the fourth. He's getting healthy. I got to go over Cincinnati. At Cincinnati, I got to go with Cincinnati on that one.
Okay, and it's at Cincinnati. It's in Cincinnati. San Fran
got to roll
Cleveland.
With it. Oh, there's another example of it don't matter if they play on the moon. San Francisco going to be
free space. Carolina at Miami.
Oh, Miami don't stop. Yeah, Carolina's terrible. Good try. Okay.
Indy at Jacksonville.
Jacksonville because Richardson is hurt. And I don't know who the back. I don't even know who they back up is. So
now this is an interesting one. New Orleans at Houston, but I like what the coach is doing in Houston. He don't rally them and told them, y'all like how this women feel, and they kind of turned the corner. So this one is going to be interesting. This is going to tell me if they actually turned the corner or they were just kind of on a good game streak. I got New Orleans.
To be honest with you, Zone, CJ Stroud is pretty good. He's decent. He's not bad.
He's not bad. He's not bad.
He's not bad for a rookie. He is not bad. So I think it's going to be a tough game. I think it's going to be a close game. But I've got Derek Carr just having a little bit more on offense, and I think New Orleans got a better defense. I think New Orleans wins a close game. New Orleans wins a close game.
I got you. I'm with you. New England at Las Vegas.
Who we got?
New England at Las Vegas.
Oh, we're going to kill them. New England's try.
We're going to kill them.
We're going to kill them.
Arizona at the Rams.
That's a good game. That's a good game. Arizona is not as bad as people thought they were. Exactly. Josh Dobbs shows you the same thing that Geno Smith showed you last year. Sometimes sitting on the bench is a good thing, no?
That's right. I agree.
Because you get to learn. Josh Dobbs has obviously learned. And they at Arizona or they at LA?
They at LA.
I got the Rams there. I got the Rams.
Okay.
At home, I got the Rams.
I got the Rams. They good at home. Philly Jets.
Philly go beat the shit out of them.
Another free space, right? Another free space. Mm-hmm. All right. I'm gonna skip this one because I think this is a good one. I'm gonna come back to it. The Giants at Buffalo.
That's terrible for the Giants. And Daniel Jones is hurt. So it's gonna be ugly.
It's gonna be ugly.
It's gonna be ugly.
And these two right here are gonna be awesome. Okay. Detroit at Tampa Bay, 4:25 Eastern time. You got the second half.
That's a good game. That's a good game.
That's a good game, man. That's a good fucking game. Hey, look, why are you thinking about that one? Dallas at the Chargers.
See, now Dallas don't have a real bad taste in their mouth from getting their ass kicked. And the one thing we do know about the Chargers is the Chargers have an explosive offense, but they defense in the second half, they give shit up. They give it up.
They give it up. Yeah, they do.
So I got Dallas coming to LA and beating them. Dak having a great game. Dak gonna go for 300 some yards, maybe 3-4 touchdowns, no picks. They're gonna have a good game. They're gonna have a good game because Mike Williams is on IR as well. You know that.
But I'm not a Mike Williams truther. I think they do good without him. To me personally, as long as Eckler is there, but Eckler is out.
Eckler's still hurt. We don't know if Eckler gonna play. He questionable. He got the high ankle sprain, so we don't know if he's even gonna play.
He better not play. He better rest because he better not do that shit against Dallas defense, or it's gonna get re-aggravated. I wouldn't do that.
Exactly.
Yeah, that Dallas defense is stupid.
Dallas defense is the truth.
Detroit, Tampa Bay.
Look, Detroit is for real. I don't care what nobody say. They are a good football team. I don't really know if Baker Mayfield is just ain't played nobody, or is he actually figuring this shit out? Because what it's looking like is that Baker done figured this shit out and realized I was the number one pick, but I'm not that guy. I'm a game manager. All my job is to do is not make mistakes and manage the game. If he's figured that part out, then Tampa Bay got a shot at making some noise.
Yeah, I agree.
But
I agree.
I think Detroit is just a better team. I like that coach, Dan Campbell. I like that running game they got over there. They went and got that boy from Chicago, put him in there. I like their defense. They're young and aggressive. I got Detroit winning in Tampa.
I need to kind of see. Mike Evans is questionable. If Mike Evans play, which we'll try to get that here in shortly, probably this afternoon, we'll get the answer really because whatever you get it, the injury reports. I got Tampa Bay beating Detroit. I got Tampa Bay, and for the audience out there, when you look at this on the playback or if you live, the question is: this looked like the toughest game to call because we like to do it like this. So who do y'all got? You can answer all of them, but who do you got on a Tampa Bay and Detroit game? Leave a comment in the comment section, or if you live, type it in if you choose to. That's going to be a tough game for the week. And if you got any upset or anybody on upset alert, let us know. It seems pretty decisive and 50-50s, unless you Philly, who get upset by the Jets, or who San Fran, who get upset by Cleveland. We pretty much don't see that happening. Kansas City get upset by Denver. Most of us don't see that happening. You know what I'm saying? So those are our picks for the week. So listen. So those are your picks. You are working for the NFC, AFC Super Bowl. We obviously explained the injuries and talked about who's injured in the injury report. But who right now currently, and I got another question for you, Shelton, before we get out of here.
Mm-hmm.
Before I ask you who's the best player in the NFL, men, Field, and the fellas, we have a conversation. If you look right here, Dwayne be like, where Field? I want to see if he believes in Dak still. Okay. Now, Deshaun Watson versus Dak Prescott. In your opinion, if you had to start a franchise or based on performance, who you believe in, which one of those quarterbacks are you taking as opposed to the other?
I would take Dakota Watson. I would take Watson. Deshaun Watson. I would take Deshaun Watson because Dakota Prescott is a good quarterback when everything is going well.
Mm-hmm.
As long as it's going great, defense on fire, running game on point, Dak's great then. But when defense, you need some help, and the quarterback got to step up, that's when Dak has a problem. I get back to now. My wife called me.
Okay, all right, no doubt. I got you to get back. I got it. So Shelton will get that call, but I always said that I got Deshaun Watson as well too over Dak Prescott. We try to do the top 10 quarterback rankings. When we get a chance, we're gonna kind of revisit that. But they looking neck and neck. I'm not gonna act like just because Shelton more agree with me that it's still not close or that somehow that vindicates what I'm saying about Deshaun Watson. I just got Deshaun Watson over Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott has continuously slid down the ranking board for me. Deshaun Watson has kind of maintained where his position has been at, but because of retirements and other quarterbacks leaving the game and stuff like that, obviously things rotate up. You know what I'm saying? Obviously there's no Tom Brady, Phillip Rivers, Drew Brees. None of those guys are around right now. They retired and they moved on. We like 5 years removed from these Big Bens and all these guys. In some cases, 2 to 3 years. So over the last half a decade or a little bit less, most of the top quarterbacks, that usually occupy top 10 spots, they're gone now. So it's time for these new quarterbacks to kind of step up and get a proper ranking. And obviously we're going to have your Herberts and, your Patrick Mahomes and your Hurts and your Lamar Jacksons, your Josh Allens, and you got your Joe Burrow, even though some people are not that high on Joe Burrow and things of that nature. And then you got your Kirk Cousins, your Dax, and people like that we kind of got to rank because he's just created that space over the last 5 years without those big players of those historical figures that played the quarterback position. So we asked a good question on time. Shelton Moore says that Deshaun Watson, he would take him over Dak. And that's what I got, but it's still close. Dwayne asked this question here. He says, we'll feel it. I want to see if he still believes in Dak. And while we wait on Shelton, you ask and you shall receive. We got Phil Walker in this motherfucker, man. What's going on, man? What's up?
Man, you already know what's going on with me, brother.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, I gotta get your picks. You know, let me get you in here. I'm not talking about the NFC. We already did our video on that. We just got Shelton Moore on the record, so he can get his picks in. We got Dwayne, we got you, we got Rollo, we got myself. Look, big week. You know how we do it. Thursday night, Denver at Kansas City. What you got?
Kansas City, easy dub.
Free space. Okay. Baltimore at Tennessee, 9:30 in London. Shout out to Dwayne.
Yeah, I got Baltimore winning that one. They took a bad loss this past week, man. So I got them bouncing back.
Okay. Washington at Atlanta.
Man, you know, that's a good one. I'm gonna roll with Washington on that one though.
Okay. Minnesota at Chicago.
Man, no Jefferson. Madison hadn't been really running the ball that great. They still got Kirk Cousins who can throw that thing around a little bit. They solid at the tight end spot, obviously. But you know, man, that's a tough one, man. But you know what, man? I'm gonna go with Chicago on that one.
Okay.
Yeah. So Justin Fields been playing good these last 2 weeks. He's been playing like I know he can, and this is the thing, man. If Chicago can string together 2 halves of football, man, they got a pretty good team. You know, either they do good in the first half and not the second, or they do good in the second half and not the first. But if they can string together 2 halves, 2 solid halves, I think they'll have a pretty decent team. So I'm gonna go with Chicago.
Okay, that's good one. Good breakdown. Seahawks at Cincinnati.
I'm going Seahawks, man. Cincinnati just been super duper inconsistent, man. Joe Burrow just had a good game this week. They finding a way to get Chase the ball, so he can make big plays during the game. Look, man, if they can get a little more consistent, we know what kind of defense they have. Obviously, Burrow has been injured. And I don't know if he's all the way back because last week they played against a bottom tier defense. So I'm gonna go with Seattle based off the consistency part.
Okay. All right. That's a good one. San Fran at Cleveland.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with San Fran on that one, man. You know, those guys are playing some of the best football you can play. You know, the defense clicking on all cylinders, man. You know, position for position. Yeah, Frisco has one of the best teams in the league, man. So you got to go with Frisco.
Okay. Carolina at Miami.
Yeah, I'm going Miami, man.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a believer in Miami. I just think they got to tighten some stuff up on that defensive side. We all know what they can do on offense, but their defense has been super duper inconsistent. They got the playmakers, they just not making plays, man. And when they are making plays, they're just not making them at the right time during the right games. Yeah. So they need to string together some consistency on defense. And we know what the offense can do, man. They have the fastest team in the NFL. So that is what it is on that part.
Once you say Tyreek Hill on your team, but you already in top 5 fastest teams.
Yeah, hey, between Tyreek Hill, A-Chain, Waddle, that's some speed, bro.
That's speed, man. We're gonna put a pin in there. Y'all heard him say A-Chain. We got to get to him because Phil did something that has to be highlighted on these football things. He made a bold fucking call at the beginning of the season, and I'm gonna let him cook on that shit because he gotta call it like it is. We're gonna let him do that. So Indy at Jacksonville.
You know, man, I think Indianapolis is a lot better than people give them credit for. You know, obviously they got Jonathan Taylor back. But Moss has been running the ball really well. Garner Minshew, to me, gives him the best chance to win because he runs the offense a lot better to me than Richardson. And obviously he's out. So you know what, man? I'm gonna go out on a limb, and it's a divisional game. I'm gonna go with. Is it where is it?
In Jacksonville, though.
Okay, I'm gonna go with Jacksonville at home. I'm gonna go with Jacksonville at home.
It is
Yeah,
in Jacksonville now. And I
yeah,
agree with you. I say the same thing about Indy. It's something about them that just small tweaks and they in there. If the quarterback can get it with Taylor, they're gonna be all right. I see what you see there. I see the same thing with Indy. Richardson can't just be trying to play hero ball. You're not Michael Vick, bro. You got to stop with that shit. You got to understand the value. You got to knock it off, man. Stop with that shit. New Orleans at Houston.
yeah, man. This is I'm down here in Texas, man. I'm a Cowboys fan, so I despise the Texans, and I don't hate the Saints, but I'm not a Saints fan. Let me just say that. So, um, the Saints played well this past week, but man, I'm gonna tell you something, man. D'Amico Ryan, he is he's doing his thing over there, bro. I think he's building something. So you know what, man? Man, I just can't root for the Texans. I'm going for the Saints, man. This the one I'm picking with emotion with this one. Fuck it.
No doubt. We for the shit. That's how it is in football. I'm with you. Because if I hate them, I'm going to tell you, I hate the motherfucker. See, this ain't boxing. So, look, New England at Vegas. Before you say that, you got a partner on here. Shelton Moore come back, OG Shelton. He was telling me how much he liked Vegas too. And I was telling him, I said, man, Phil got history with them. He'll give you his testimony, but he's a Vegas fan as well too. But New England at Las Vegas.
Yeah, man, New England just looks terrible, man. Offensively, the defense was typically their strong point. They hadn't been playing the best football that they can play. Although Vegas isn't great right now, I still think they are good enough to beat New England. They building the game up. Josh McDaniels going back over there to play against his former team. I'm gonna go with the Patriots. I mean, with the Raiders.
Absolutely, I agree. Arizona at the Rams.
Man, the Rams sneaky kind of good, man. They got a lot of playmakers over there. Obviously, Puka, then came out of the shadows, rookie. He's very, very talented. You already seen what Cooper Kupp did. Once he returned, they played against a team in the Eagles, gave him a good run for their money. And then we all know who Matthew Stafford is. You still got Aaron Donald over there on the defense. As long as you got him, you're gonna stand a chance to disrupt a lot of offenses, right? So I am going to roll with the Rams in that game.
I mean, Shelton said the same thing. We're in alignment. Philly and the Jets. At the Jets.
Yeah, I'm going Philly.
Free space.
Yeah. I'm going Philly. The Jets do have a really good defense. Their offense is just terrible though, man.
It's terrible.
It's terrible. Their strong suit is running the ball because that's what their strong suit was last year. They kind of got away from that a little bit. I don't know if it was because the offensive line was a little bit banged up, but the offensive line seems to be healthy now. And obviously we saw what Breece Hall did last week. So they have a situation where they may be in a slight identity crisis as well, just like my Cowboys are. They don't know if they want to pass it or they want to run it. They don't know what they want to do over there. But with that being said, they don't have enough to win this game this weekend, man. We already know what's going down with that.
Absolutely. Now I'm gonna hold this one because this seems like this might be the game of the week, kinda. Not this one, but I'm gonna hold it. Giants at Buffalo.
Yeah, I mean, that's the battle of the East Coast right there. We already know Buffalo gonna bounce back and take care of their business after taking a loss this past weekend. Again, those guys are inconsistent, man. Josh Allen needs to shit or get off the pot. I know a lot of people like to talk about these quarterbacks, but the truth of the matter is, he's running out of time as well. He's been a guy. He missed his opportunity that one year when those guys played against Kansas City. Outside of that, man, he's been a guy that's been exiting the playoffs first, second round almost every single year, right? And he's supposedly supposed to be a top tier quarterback. His numbers look good, but he's just not producing in the right direction as far as Super Bowl champs. You got Patrick Mahomes over there, man. You're gonna have to see that man every year. You need to shit or get off the pot, bro, coming out of that AFC. But they're not problems with the Giants, though.
Okay, all right. Dallas at Chargers.
Dallas. Come on, man. You already know I'm rolling with that star, bro.
Yeah, that's a good one. We got
so this is what I'll say, right? Kellen Moore is the offensive coordinator over there. We all know he was in Dallas last year, and the defense is going to be familiar with his play calling, and not necessarily the plays, but his rhythm, how he likes to call plays, right? And I think Dan Quinn is a better defensive coordinator than Kellen Moore is an offensive coordinator, and we're better on defense than they are on offense, right? They get Austin Eckler back, which is a big component for them. We did lose Vanderish this past week. We, salute to him. I hope he's doing okay. But their defense is not good. The Chargers defense is not really that good. They're a middle of the pack defense. I think that our offense can put up enough points to win that game, but we got to score in the red zone. It's going to be the main thing. But our defense, man, I think we're going to dominate them on the front five, period.
Okay. Now this last but not least, this is a good one. Man, Sheldon was like, this is a good one. Detroit at Tampa.
I like the way Detroit's playing right now, man. They're playing some good football. And truth of the matter is, man, Tampa is sneaky in there this year. People thought they were gonna fall by the wayside, but they're coming off the bye week. Anytime you come off the bye week, you get that extra week to prepare for a team, that can cause a lot of problems. But Detroit is hot right now, and because they're hot, man, it's just they got the momentum, bro. They got the momentum right now. And Tampa, I don't know if Mike Evans is going to play, so they're going to be missing one of their key weapons. That may play a part into it. But, man, I got to – you say what?
It definitely is.
Yeah. So, man, but – yeah, I was high on Detroit before the season started, so I'm going to roll with them now because they're proven to be what I thought they were, Although it's early in the season, they're playing really good football.
If Mike Evans is there and he's solid, he's good to go. I got Tampa Bay beating Detroit in a good game. Nobody
is in Tampa?
Yeah, it's in Tampa. And it's I'm gonna say this to you. Sometimes this matters and sometimes it don't to some people. It's the 425 game. So I just, that could matter to some people, that could not, depending on who you ask. I like it's not too much travel, it's not anything weird. It's not like the London game where, maybe Lamar legs or maybe Derrick Henry legs ain't where they need to be for that game, for the travel in London. So those two guys who use their legs and who really, got to get it going, maybe they don't never get a rhythm and rev up because they're overseas playing in the UK. Now, I got last 15 minutes and I'm going to close this one out about the football, and we're going to come back and go over this stuff again, too, as usual. This the not halfway point. This ain't even the halfway point. This is a halfway mark from the last time me, Phil, Dwayne, and Rollo them completed the video on football. Like we said, we're going to bring it back. before you tell us about A-Chain, which also goes into fantasy, can you tell us about where you stand in the fantasy? Because I told them where I'm at, and I repeat it again. I'm 4-1 in one league. I'm 3-2 in one league, and man, I'm 1-4 in the other three. You know what I'm saying? I got Deshaun Watson, and he's killing me. And I got Najee P. Harris. He's killing me this year too. And I had Nick Chubb in one of those leagues, and he snapped his knee damn near in half. So those three leagues are killing me right now. But I got Justin Herbert in the other two where I'm banging it and stuff like that. So what you looking like on the fantasy, and speak to us about A-Chain and what you see and what you want to tell everybody about A-Chain.
Well, so for me, man, I'm just playing in one league this year. I'm actually playing in two leagues, but I inherited a team from somebody, and they kicked the guy out the league because he just went in there and completely just blew the draft. He was drafting guys like Tom Brady, so they said, "Look, bro, you can't, money on the line. We can't put you in here, man. We got to kick you out the league." So they gave me his spot so it can be an even amount of teams. So I'm playing that league, but I'm not very good in that league. I'm in last place in that league because the team is just terrible. But I'm looking forward to next year in that league where I can draft my own team. I was once before in this league. I won the championship, and then I retired from that league after I won the championship. So this is my coming back party to this league, and I'm looking forward to next season. Now my main league right now, I'm 3-2. I'm sitting in fourth place. I have the most points in the league. The two games I lost, the guys outscored me. They were the top scorers. I was the second top scorer, right? So bad weeks, man. But right now, I'm sitting pretty good. In my main league, I'm sitting in fourth place, right? Outside of that, man, I think I got a pretty solid team through and through. Now, as far as A-Chain is concerned, I drafted him early. He was actually my second running back taken, so I had him in my starting lineup. People may say I might have drafted him a little bit early. I didn't want to take the chance on letting him slip so far down in the draft that I would potentially miss out on him, because I know what kind of player he is. And honestly, the team that he plays for in the Miami Dolphins is perfect for him. I've been watching this kid play football since Little League. He's from the greater Houston area. That's where I reside at, in the Houston area. I watched him play against my nephew. He went to Fort Bend, Marshall, and then obviously I watched him play at Texas A&M. And when the Miami Dolphins drafted him, I said, this kid is going to be special. He's over there with a system that's going to be able to highlight him. So at the beginning of the year, I do this every year. Zone knows this. I did it with the breakout year, Jonathan Taylor. I did it with St. Roma. I did it obviously this year with A-Chain, right? I said A-Chain is going to be my breakout fantasy player of the year. He's going to surprise a lot of people. And if he's healthy, he's going to easily be a top 5 running back coming out of this year's fantasy football draft. Now, once he got healthy, the first 2 games, he didn't get much burn because his shoulder was messed up. But since he's been healthy, the games that he's been back, he's put up several 150-yard games. He has, I believe, 7 touchdowns on the season. That's a lot of goddamn touchdowns, man. So in regards to him, he's just doing what I know he could do, man. The guy has world-class speed. He's a hard worker, man. He's tough. And most importantly, he's in a system that he can prevail in. And another thing is he's the most efficient fantasy football player across all platforms, because he's putting up these statistics and these numbers with the least amount of touches out of any skill position in fantasy football. That's just a stat that I like to pay attention to, because some guys ball because they get volume. Some guys ball just because they are that much better than everybody, and they seize the moments whenever they get a chance to receive the ball. And A-Chain is that guy, where whenever you get him the ball, it can be lightning in the bottle, man. And even if you decide to feed him through volume, he's going to ball that way too. So he's been my breakout player of the year, man. Unfortunately, right now he had I believe he has a high ankle sprain, so he's not going to be playing this week. But if this kid is healthy, man, I think he's one of the best in the NFL.
I agree. Phil definitely called it. We shared a couple of calls. We both was high. It was a time where there was Odell Beckham, and me and Phil both kind of agreed that Michael Thomas was that guy. I called the Cordell Patterson thing. I'm not a believer of Jonathan Taylor. Phil did say that, and he did show out. I didn't see any level of consistency that would be sustained there. A-Chain, I didn't have enough information about him because I'm still iffy on the Dolphins as a whole. I know Phil and a couple other people I know, they do respect the Dolphins, and it may have turned because New England is not that deal. Buffalo is, like he said, Josh Allen need to shit or get off the pot. If Tua stay healthy and they can build some momentum in Miami might be the future of that division. And the Jets is just, they blew their load with Aaron Rodgers. It's just, and Dalvin Cook. The Jets is just not, they just had some unfortunate situations. So I agree with Phil. Phil definitely called it. He said it from the beginning. We already got our Super Bowl and playoff picks. Check the previous video out. It's called Football Talk 1. It got me, Phil Walker, Rollo Jenkins, Dwayne, who's been in the chat. I'll put him up here. That's Dwayne. Everybody's welcome. It's open panel. If you know football, we talking straight football. Please do not come over. We know we talk all sports, and I know we got some boxing heads in here, but this is straight football, fantasy football talk, and all that goes along with it. We're going to convert over to basketball. I may have some time to do basketball tomorrow because I definitely want to talk about Dame time and get the predictions on who's going to come out of the East and the West and the NBA as well, too. Hopefully I can grab some guys that really rock with the basketball. But for us to football, last question or last statement. Me and Phil Walker got a conversation, a question. Who would you rank higher, or who do you feel is better? Whatever metric you use in football is into your interpretation. Deshaun Watson or Dak Prescott? It seems to be pretty close. Phil got Dak. From my understanding, Rollo feel that it's balance. Dwayne keep asking for Phil, and do he believe in Dak? I don't know which one he'll take. Moore got Deshaun Watson, but it's close. I got Deshaun Watson because he rotated toe up. Dak ain't playing good, and neither is he. So me and Phil might just be bumping heads in this motherfucker. We both might be getting each other concussions because nigga.
Yeah, man. You know, we looked at the stats from this season, obviously. And this really is dead even. It's neck and neck, right?
Yeah,
it's neck and neck. I mean, both of those guys aren't playing great football at the beginning of the season. They were playing just okay. Obviously, Deshaun had the best game that he's had all season right before he went out on the bye and he injured himself. But obviously, we seen what Dak Prescott did this past weekend against the 49ers, right? Who's a top-tier defense, but, I mean, at the end of the day, you're supposed to be a top 10 quarterback. You got to be able to perform against those guys, right? So, you know, look, man, I tell people, you know, I'm a Cowboys fan. I'm not a fanatic. I'm consistent in my message that I portray to the people, to the public. And, you know, I'm all about numbers, man, and results, right? And if Dak Prescott is putting up these kind of results and these numbers, I'm going to be on his head. You understand what I'm saying? You know, you're getting paid like a top-tier quarterback. We need you to step up and play like a top-tier quarterback. You understand what I'm saying? You got one of the best defenses in the league. And you got weapons over there, brother. So do I believe in Dak? To answer Dwayne's question, I believe in Dak enough because of the circumstance that he's in. Because I know you can win with the kind of defense that the Dallas Cowboys have. Because I've seen quarterbacks do it. I've seen quarterbacks less talented, less skillful, less accurate, less efficient than Dak Prescott win Super Bowls, right? So do I believe in him? I believe in him enough to say that if the defense continues to play their best football. I think he does give them a chance to win. But do I believe in Dak Prescott to be the guy that's going to bring the Dallas Cowboys a championship, put the team on his back? Absolutely not, because the results don't yield that he can do that, right? If he had some evidence that says, hey, I can put the team on my back and I can carry him, then I could confidently make that prediction. But the results are the results, man. And right now, he needs to focus on being consistent and not turning over the ball and leaning. To me, the Cowboys need to lean on the run game, right? They need to create an identity and run the ball. That's what they need to do. Play action pass, give Dak Prescott good, easy throws that he can make where he doesn't have to think too much, and let the defense win the game for you, man. So, yeah, do I believe in him in that aspect? Sure. Do I think he can carry the load by himself? Absolutely not. It's only a couple quarterbacks in NFL that can do it, and Dak Prescott isn't one of them.
All right, man. On that note, man, Phil scorched it with the A-chain and the Dak breakdown. He's a big Dallas fan, and Dwayne, I hope that answers your question. And next time, hopefully you can get on here. I'll even do a solid. I guarantee, unless something crazy happens, I'll be here tomorrow around the same time. I'll go ahead and schedule it out tomorrow morning, and I'll look at the schedule. Everybody will be cleared out. I have time, and hopefully all is well. So we'll be back tomorrow, man. That's my time. I got to get up out of here. Phil, I'll hit you up on the jack. I'm on my way to make some moves, man. All right, y'all boys be safe. Big Phil, where can they find you at?
Man, y'all already know me, man. Y'all can find me on The Fix Sports TV. THAFIX Sports TV. Spaces in between all of them, man. And you can find me on IG, The Fix, THAA_FIX. That's my IG, man. Holla at me.
All right, there it is.
BT Pound, 78 Fight News, Blood Boxing, Blood Fists, Boxing Beats and Rhymes, Female Boxing Fan, Carter J, Pull Counter, Joker Boxing, D Styles, the whole YTBC.